Well, we continue covering Colorado first in Denver, where a possible Ebola scare is over. The state health department reports laboratory testing on a patient has come back negative for the rare virus. The man had just returned from Central Africa, started feeling ill, and was taken to Denver Health this morning. Doctors said it was unlikely the man contracted Ebola, but they weren't taking any chances. Our Dylan Thomas is live outside Denver Health. And Dylan, what made doctors think this man could have brought Ebola back to Colorado?
Kathy, he was recently in the Congo, and more specifically in a region which did have confirmed cases of Ebola earlier this year. Ebola is usually passed through bodily fluids, and this individual confirmed he was in contact with sick people and those who were dead as well. While Denver Health says their tests are coming back negative for Ebola this time, he was secured in an isolated area just in case. Paramedics and hospital staff at Denver Health were dressed head to toe in protective suits Sunday as a possible case of Ebola made its way into the hospital. The patient, a Denver resident who just returned home from the Congo 2 days ago.
He reports being in the eastern part of the Congo. He became ill very suddenly early this morning. The
patient was admitted to Denver Health's biocontainment unit.
It is a very secured area. It is isolated from the rest of the hospital.
A room with specialized ventilation and staff specifically trained for cases like this.
We have the ability to give the patient care, but while protecting the rest of the hospital and our staff from potential exposure. All the evaluations so far and the testing have not supported a diagnosis of Ebola.
Dr. Connie Price says the victim's symptoms pointed in several directions.
Anything from the flu to appendicitis. These are very sort of vague symptoms.
But the patient will remain in isolation for the time being.
We can continue normal operations in the hospital while continuing to care for this patient.
Now, unfortunately for that patient, while he waited to find out if it was Ebola, they couldn't test him for the other issues for a precautionary reason to make sure they didn't spread anything. In the meantime, those who brought him here to the hospital, the paramedics, were also placed in quarantine until he was cleared of Ebola. Live in Denver, Dylan Thomas covering Colorado First.
Thank you, Dylan.